you guys. Okay, we're back with part 2 with cheat codes for men. That's what I'm calling it anyways. I kind of reflected back on my 18 years of doing hair and all the different conversations that I've had with all of my wonderful clients. And I couldn't help but notice that there were lots of common things that when talking to women, specifically about relationships, what they always mentioned that they felt like was missing in their relationship, what they truly desired, what they were looking for. And so I'm here to share with you guys what I have found and heard the last so many years of my hairstyling career, and just in hopes to maybe help you guys out that truly are trying to find their partner in life and maybe sometimes just miss the mark on a couple things when dating. So let's just get right into the first one of the day. And I'm going to say cheat code number 1 is chivalry is not dead, you guys. So the amount of times that I hear women complain about, or not so much complain, just mention that they rarely ever have guys like open their door for them, pull a chair out for them, bring them flowers, just little things like that. It's not so much about the gifts, it's just the thoughtfulness behind it. And I think chivalry too is something that women appreciate because it feels like you are just thinking one step ahead. You're looking out for them, you're caring for them, you're taking care of them. Women love to feel comforted and taken care of. And so whenever you are thoughtful enough to walk on the side of the sidewalk with her, like I said, open the door for her, whether that's getting in and out of a vehicle, opening the door to a restaurant, or anywhere, you are just showing us that you are taking care of us. And we love that. The little details, like I said in my first video, and if you haven't watched the first video, please watch that next, or stop this video and watch that first. I mentioned in the first video that the littlest things are big things to us. We love details, and the more detailed, the better. Finding out maybe not everybody truly cares about chivalry, but I think most women out there love it. Maybe we've gotten used to not having it a lot, and so maybe we're not as picky, or maybe we feel like we can let that go. But I honestly love a chivalrous man. I feel like it speaks a lot about his true character. I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand with manners too, which will bring me to my second cheat code: have good manners. Save all the bodily functions for like way down the road, if you can help it, or try and maybe excuse yourself if it happens to come out. But in talking to as many women as I have in the past 18 years, I truly think that there's a lot to say about a man with manners. Even just being self-aware of yourself and how you might come across in certain situations. Using good manners when you guys are out to dinner or out in public. Just using the simple stuff that you learned as a kid, or hopefully did. Just using your please and thank yous. We understand that you guys are wired a little bit different and made a little different than us, so we do have a lot of grace there, but manners do just go a long way. It's not just about, we don't want to hear you burping and farting all the time, although I personally don't. At least excuse yourself after you have, if it comes out. Manners even goes further than that. It's like chewing with your mouth closed. If you get up to get something for yourself, ask if she wants something. Just always thinking about her, but it goes both ways too. Yes, this video is to help guys out, but a lot of that I'm mentioning and saying kind of goes both ways. It's like just being considerate of each other. I feel like that's in the manner category, and it's its own thing on its own too, but just learning to always think of your person. As much as you think of yourself and your needs, think about your partner's needs too. They're just as important. They want to feel that you are able to think of them and prioritize them. And that shows us a lot of just your character and who you are. We don't want to feel like we have to mom you and like reteach you manners as a grown man. I feel like any female that's ever talked to me about being in a situation where they feel like the person they were dating, they had to mom at the same time or kind of act like a mom towards them, I feel like that's like the number one killer to so many things in a relationship, but for females too, it's like you already had that opportunity to learn all those things and to practice those things. And if your girl is expressing to you the things that she is looking for and appreciates in a relationship, pay attention to that, because that will show her a lot that you are paying attention and listening and considering her feelings and everything. Um, and like I will keep repeating, little things are big things. So anytime she expresses anything to you, just pay attention to that and try your best to remember her and consider her feelings while you guys are together. A lot of women that I talk to feel like they have to train or stay on top of their person all the time, and that's kind of exhausting in a really quick way to kind of kill the whole vibe. So have just an open line of communication always and be open to hear what she has to say, and don't always take everything as she's criticizing you and asking you to be a completely different person. A lot of the time, females love to help and are happy to express the things that they need. But whenever it's met with defensiveness, that's really hard, because people that choose to just get defensive instead of listening, again, in my first video, I talked about what it takes to be a good communicator. And good communication isn't just talking, it's learning how to be a good listener and truly hear what somebody's saying to you. That is a sign of a good communicator, is you're a good listener. So a lot of the times as females, when we bring things to your attention, it's not that we're trying to come down hard on you, it's that we just want better for you. And we want better for us too, since you are an extension of us when we're together. Which brings me to another point I want to make and just kind of raise awareness about is maybe be mindful of when you are in a partnership with somebody and you are dating with intention of possibly this person being your person for the rest of your life, right? Try and think about it this way. I've explained it to people like this before. Whoever you're choosing to be in a relationship with, just like you are your own walking billboard of who you are, or own walking advertisement of who you are by how you conduct yourself every day in life, who you are when people aren't looking. So are you a person of integrity? Who are you as an individual? When you get coupled up with somebody, think about it this way. You are now representing each other. So learning to be mindful when we bring things to your attention, it's one of two things. We are expressing what we need, but we also want you to be mindful and considerate of us, meaning when we are going to say we're with Brad, right? Fill in the blank, whatever your name is. We want to know that you're going to be a good representative when you're tied with us in our name, right? If we've worked really hard on working on ourselves and building a good reputation for ourselves, whoever we're choosing is an extension of us too. So as a couple and as a team, you have to think about it that way. Like, who are you guys wanting to be as a couple? What are you wanting to say to other people watching your relationship? Yes, the most two important people, and what matters is you guys in the relationship, but who are you guys together? Nobody wants to look stupid, okay? So if you are out here doing things that don't represent who your girl is or vice versa, like that can be a hard thing because it's like, don't make your partner look or feel dumb by how you act and how you react to things. And like I said, when you are having bad manners or you're treating somebody rudely or you're out here talking to other girls or flirting with other girls at the same time that you're trying to pursue this relationship, just anything you can think of that in a relationship you might need to sit and think about, how is this going to affect my person? How would my person feel about this? If you have to sit and question anything for a little bit longer than a few seconds about, if I do this and she found out about it, would it make her happy or would it make her upset? Like constantly just considering how this is going to affect your person. Like I said in the first video, we desire to have a healthy and good teammate. When you're looking for your lifelong partner, you're looking for the best teammate that you can find. Life is hard and you need a good teammate and a good team player. All these things girls always think about and consider when we're dating. We do pay attention to all the little things and how things make us feel and how things come across, because at the end of the day, we want to sign up with a solid teammate. We don't want to sign up with a liability. We want someone that we can constantly level up with in life in any and all aspects. Somebody that's going to help us and inspire us and teach us things. Girls love to learn new things, and we love to be shown how to do things and taught how to do things, which brings me to my next thing is teach us stuff. We can be teachable and we want to learn, we want to grow and improve and do better. If we really like you, we will be completely interested in whatever you're interested in because we like you so much, and we will want to support you and understand better what it is that you do or that you like to do. We want to be right there with you. So teach us some stuff and have patience with us too. I feel like most women find it really attractive when the guy that they like does have a certain hobby or a certain job that he wants to share with us about. Just even in the way that you get excited about something or you're explaining something, we love to see you in your element. So it's not boring to us a lot of the time. Like I said, if we are really interested in you, we're going to be interested in all the aspects that you have to offer. I even like down to the details too of like when you guys are explaining things and you get really into it and you get excited and you're showing us and you're really just into the whole thing. It's endearing to watch you guys get so passionate and excited about stuff, and it kind of gets us excited and we kind of feel like you're including us into your world. And just it goes both ways, like I said, just in the ways that we want you to be interested and included in the stuff we like, we want to also be interested into your stuff too. I think that's a good sign for men also in when you're dating somebody, if she is showing interest in the things that you're interested in. You don't have to have everything in common. It's okay to have some differences. That's totally fine. You don't have to spend every waking second with the person, and you don't have to have all the same hobbies. It's totally fine to have a few different things, but is your person willing to show any kind of interest in anything that you have shared with them that is an important thing to you? We do want to see that you ask us questions and get involved in some way. You don't have to do everything with us, but maybe help us at least know that you do care about what we're talking about, even if you aren't that into it, that you're at least trying and asking questions. I would say another tip would be learn how to communicate better and learn how to give her your full undivided attention when she is talking. There's nothing worse than talking to somebody and they're either not giving you anything back, or it's like talking to a wall, or they get up and leave the room when you're in mid-sentence, or you're on your phone, or you're watching TV over her shoulder. There's nothing worse than that, because at that moment, I think anybody would kind of feel like that the universal thing with being distracted while somebody's talking to you is you're letting them know that that's not very important. Whatever they're talking about, you're not interested in it, or it's just not as important as what else you'd rather do. I think it's good to find time to put all electronics away at least each evening if you can. I understand some people's jobs, they have to be on their phone for work, but at the same time, finding time each day to connect and communicate and talk together is super important. It's kind of like everybody has busyness in their days, and when you can kind of slow down at some point and just kind of learn to connect, I feel like learning how to do that with your partner is so vital to keeping that connection between you guys going and keeping it strong. I think everybody values feeling like somebody is there for them, sees them, understands them, and cares. Even just setting 15 minutes aside each evening to kind of sit and talk. And even if you had a hard day, maybe just explaining that you had a hard day and you're not ready to talk about it yet. That goes a long way too, instead of just nothing. We can't really work with no information, but sharing with us just a little bit about where you're at each day is helpful. And women tend to be in their heads a lot, and so it helps us kind of have a little bit more peace and clarity and peace of mind. Which brings me to the other tip, is just to learn how to be vulnerable with your partner. I know women tend to be a little bit better at vulnerability and talking and sharing than men do. I'm sure you guys have your reasons as to why vulnerability is not as fun or comfortable. You'd rather make a joke or not get too deep, and that's fine and dandy for most days, but how are you supposed to truly connect on a deeper level if there is no vulnerability? Vulnerability is kind of just, I know it's a scary zone to be in sometimes, because when you're vulnerable, you are opening yourselves up more, and there's a potential of getting hurt or misunderstood or judged. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes sharing vulnerable things with somebody causes you guys to become closer. It can actually bond the two of you a lot closer than you think, because what vulnerability does, it creates a safe environment and a safe space to be able to share things that are real and raw about yourself, and it helps your partner understand you a lot better. How's anyone truly supposed to learn and get to know you better if you don't share with them? Even if you have to do it in smaller doses and just let out little vulnerabilities at a time, that's okay too. But I think keeping things surface level for a long period of time doesn't last very long in relationships. When a woman feels safe and protected, she can open her heart up more to you without feeling a fear of being judged or abandoned because of what she shared with you. I think most people want to know that you're not going to just run at the first sign of you sharing and showing emotions and a real vulnerable side of you. I would say please learn how to be respectful of your partner too. If she shares something with you from her past, or something that in your relationship in the present that she feels uncomfortable with, please be mindful of that. And if it's something that you just can't get on board with, that's okay. Like, you get to pick things for yourself too in relationships. You don't have to just go with whatever your partner says. But if she does matter to you and you see a future with this person, I would just encourage you to consider if she does share things with you that she doesn't like in the relationship or she doesn't feel comfortable with in the relationship. Please be respectful of that. That will show her that you really do care for her and her safety and her feelings and her heart. We all have past wounds from either childhood or from prior relationships. And I think learning to just hold space for each other and be patient with one another while we're still working through those things, a good way to show that you do care is at least if someone brings something to your attention that they're kind of having a hard time with, then be mindful and respectful of that for them. I would say something else that I hear a lot too is when it comes to going on dates or making dates, women love when you get creative. They love going on dates, but also just not always the typical dinner and a movie or dinner and mini golf. Those are fun dates, but every so often, like, get creative. I have heard so many women say that their guys that they date just don't ever plan anything or plan dates, and women's brains are going and working a mile a minute all the time. And sometimes when they know that they also have to plan the date out, it's just one more thing that they have to kind of think about and do and worry about and work on. And so sometimes it's nice to know that their man has it. He's got it covered. He just kind of tells her what to wear, where they're going, or it's a surprise, which most girls love a good surprise too every so often. It doesn't even have to be an expensive date. We're not always looking to be wined and dined everywhere we go. We do love to get dressed up and we love to get shown off and we love to go out and feel like we're proud to take us out and show us off. But at the same time, even just doing a drive-in movie or doing a date night at home and just setting the scene at home, lighting candles, getting all her favorite snacks and drinks, or getting her favorite dinner at one of the restaurants and bringing it home and laying a blanket and pillows out, or just making the room super comfy. And there's just so many ways to get creative. That doesn't cost a lot of money, but it just shows her that you put time and effort into it. I think more than anything, most women just want to see that you are putting effort and thought when you're pursuing us. It just again shows us that you are thinking of us, that you're considering us and our feelings, and that you're being mindful and thoughtful of us. In the last video, I mentioned that women are constantly evaluating their circumstances that they're in and their situations and the people that are in their lives, especially the man that they are dating. We just want to get a genuine sense that you are being real and doing things because you truly want to, and not that it's like a manipulative tactic. God has gifted us with being just very in tune with our emotions, and we almost have like these little spidey senses when things feel off, or things just don't feel right. And so we just want you in everything that you do to be as genuine and real as possible. There's nothing worse than having feelings for somebody and then finding out that it was all just a manipulative tactic to get something out of you, whether that is they just wanted to sleep with you or they're trying to use you for some way for them to get ahead. There's just nothing worse than being used and lied and manipulated. I truly can't stress this enough. These tips are for men that truly desire to find a good quality woman and find their lifelong partner. These tips are not for men that are looking for just the next thing to get them by to the next one and the next one and the next one. I think the final tip that I'll say too is girls love to have fun and they love to laugh. Finding a guy that can make them genuinely laugh and just almost forget about all the things that they're constantly up here about in their head about. Um, just if you are, don't be afraid to be funny and don't be afraid to be a little bit goofy because we kind of like that. I feel like guys being silly is their kind of way of vulnerability sometimes. It helps our walls come down so we can be more vulnerable too. Girls love to be able to be free and lighthearted and just kind of let go and enjoy life. And I feel like guys always bring that fun element in and that playfulness in, and a little teasing's okay. Don't go right for the jugular and tease on something that she might be insecure about, but like flirtatious teasing and just enjoying your time together. It doesn't always have to be serious. Learning just to have fun with each other and go on adventures with each other. Just add an element of fun into her life. Because girls, like I said, are always in their heads. And sometimes we can overthink and tend to get a little bit too serious about things sometimes. And so I feel like men do bring an element of fun and just lightheartedness that we need and that we truly do enjoy. If you guys have any tips or thoughts on some of the things that I mentioned in this video today, drop a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said in the last video, this is just to help just give some food for thought. This isn't meant to come down hard on anybody. Both people have to take responsibility in every relationship. We're all in control of ourselves. We should all be aiming to be the best version and healthiest version of ourselves that we can be before we enter in a relationship. Another side note to add too is you cannot change anybody. And if you are in a relationship or you're in a situation where you feel like somebody is trying to constantly change you into a different person, I would say that might not be the relationship for you. Yes, we should be gently encouraging one another to be our best selves, but there is a difference in trying to change somebody or inspire somebody. I feel like when you're with the right person, they will naturally inspire you to want to be a better version of yourself. They will have something that you look up to and you desire for your life as well. Those are usually very good and strong indicators that you're with a healthy person and the right person for you. Life is so short and we aren't here to stay the same. We should be growing and improving constantly and trying to just better ourselves and learn new things as much as we can. Remaining the same throughout your life is only going to keep you stuck in the same spot. So the coolest thing is when you can find somebody that naturally just helps you want to level up your life, and finding somebody that will walk alongside you in life and encourage you to keep growing and showing up for yourself. It's such an inspiring thing to be with somebody that is so laser focused on where they're going, having vision for their lives. And do you guys have a shared vision of where you're going? That is like, I feel like that's such a power couple move, is when you meet somebody that shares the same beliefs, morals, and values, and you guys can share the same vision and work together to get to that spot together and helping one another get there in the process of that. I feel like that is definitely something that all people aim to find, is somebody that naturally just brings this side out of you that you just want to become a better version of yourself, not only for them, but just for yourself, because there's something that they have that inspires you to just want to be an overall better human being. And it's such a beautiful thing if you can find that in a partner and you guys can level up your lives together. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you guys have a great week. I can't wait to share more with you soon, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.